Welcome back to the channel, Coin Hunters and Treasure Seekers. Today's video is going to be truly exciting because we're diving deep into the fascinating world of rare American coins. While many people overlook small change, some coins can actually be worth a fortune. In this video, we'll be exploring the 4 most valuable and expensive ultra-rare United States Jefferson nickels, coins that collectors dream about finding in old collections or even pocket change. First introduced in 1938 and featuring the portrait of Thomas Jefferson, these nickels have a rich history and some astonishing hidden values. A few rare versions have sold for thousands, and sometimes even more, making them some of the most exciting coins in American numismatics. So stay with me until the end, because one of these nickels might be hiding in plain sight, and if you're lucky enough to have it, it could be worth far more than you ever imagined. Let's get started. First up in the 1939 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny begins with one of the most recognizable figures in American history, Abraham Lincoln. This small copper coin carries far more than just a monetary value. It carries history, legacy, and a connection to a powerful era in the United States. The Lincoln Wheat Penny design was originally introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, making it the first regular U.S. coin to feature a real historical person. By 1939, the coin had already become a familiar sight in the pockets of Americans, yet every single piece minted that year represents a snapshot of a world standing on the edge of dramatic change. As World War II was about to reshape global history, this humble penny quietly circulated through everyday American life, buying bread, newspapers, and candy, while unknowingly becoming a future collector's treasure. Today, collectors and historians see the 1939 wheat penny as more than spare change. It is a small metallic witness to one of the most important decades of the 20th century. The design of the 1939 wheat penny is simple, yet incredibly meaningful. On the front, or obverse, you see the detailed profile of Abraham Lincoln facing to the right, a design created by sculptor Victor David Brenner. Surrounding Lincoln's portrait are the inscriptions "In God We Trust" at the top, "Liberty" on the left side, and the mint year, 1939 on the right. This elegant arrangement has remained one of the most iconic coin designs ever produced in the United States. On the reverse side, the coin features the famous wheat ears framing the words 1 cent and United States of America, with the Latin phrase E pluribus unum appearing above. These wheat stalks symbolize prosperity and growth, reflecting the agricultural strength of America during that era. The clean, balanced design made the coin easy to recognize and helped cement its status as one of the most beloved pennies in American numismatic history. When discussing the 1939 wheat penny, collectors often focus on where the coin was minted because the mint location can significantly affect its rarity and value. In 1939, the penny was produced in 3 different U.S. mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins from Philadelphia carry no mint mark, while those from Denver display a small D, and San Francisco coins feature an S. Each version has its own story and supply numbers. The Philadelphia Mint produced the largest quantity, meaning these coins are more common today. However, the Denver and San Francisco versions were minted in smaller quantities, making them more desirable for serious collectors. This simple mint mark can transform an ordinary-looking penny into a valuable collectible that coin enthusiasts eagerly search for in old jars, coin rolls, and family collections. Another fascinating aspect of the 1939 wheat penny is its composition and physical characteristics. The coin is made primarily of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving it the classic reddish-brown color collectors admire. It weighs about 3.11 grams and measures roughly 19 millimeters in diameter. Over time, however, many of these coins have changed in appearance due to circulation and oxidation. Some pennies appear bright red if they were preserved well, while others turn a deep brown color after decades of handling and exposure to air. Numismatists often categorize these coins as red, red-brown, or brown, and this color difference can significantly affect the coin's value. A well-preserved red 1939 penny can be far more desirable than a heavily worn brown one. Condition is one of the most important factors when determining the value of any collectible coin, and the 1939 wheat penny is no exception. Coins that spent years in circulation usually show scratches, faded lettering, and worn edges. These are typically considered common examples. However, coins that were preserved carefully, perhaps stored in coin albums, jars, or forgotten drawers, may remain in remarkable condition. High-grade coins, especially those graded mint state by professional grading companies, can attract strong attention from collectors. A nearly perfect 1939 wheat penny with sharp details and original color can be worth significantly more than its face value, making it a surprising treasure hiding within an everyday coin. Collectors are also fascinated by the possibility of minting errors, and occasionally the 1939 wheat penny can reveal unusual mistakes made during production. These errors may include doubled lettering, off-center strikes, or other small irregularities created during the minting process. While most pennies were produced correctly, error coins can become extremely desirable among numismatists because of their rarity. Discovering such a coin in circulation or in an old collection can be thrilling, as these mistakes turn a common coin into a one-of-a-kind collectible. For many collectors, the excitement of searching for these hidden varieties is one of the most enjoyable aspects of coin collecting. Beyond its collector value, the 1939 wheat penny also represents a powerful piece of cultural and economic history. The late 1930s were a time when the United States was slowly recovering from the Great Depression. People valued every penny they earned, and coins like this one were used daily in markets, stores, and public transportation. A single penny might have purchased small treats for children or contributed to larger purchases when combined with other coins. Holding a 1939 wheat penny today can feel like holding a piece of everyday life from nearly a century ago, a time when simple copper coins played an essential role in the economy and daily routines of millions of Americans. Over the decades, the popularity of wheat pennies has grown tremendously among collectors worldwide. Many people begin their coin collecting journey by searching through old pennies for these iconic wheatback designs. The 1939 version, while not the rarest, still holds an important place in collections because it represents the classic era of Lincoln wheat cents before World War II dramatically changed coin production in the early 1940s. Enthusiasts often try to complete full sets of wheat pennies from 1909 to 1958, and the 1939 penny is a key part of that historical timeline. For beginners and experienced collectors alike, finding a well-preserved example remains an exciting achievement that the 1939 wheat penny gradually disappeared from everyday circulation, making it more intriguing to collectors and history enthusiasts. Millions of these coins were originally produced, but many were lost, melted, damaged, or simply worn down through decades of use. Because of this natural loss over time, finding a well-preserved example today can feel like uncovering a small piece of forgotten history. Coin collectors often search through old jars, inherited collections, or bank rolls hoping to discover one of these vintage pennies hiding among modern coins. The excitement of spotting the wheat stalks on the reverse side instantly signals that the coin belongs to a classic era of American currency, sparking curiosity about its journey and the countless hands it may have passed through over nearly 90 years. In the end, the 1939 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny proves that even the smallest coin can hold a remarkable story. What once circulated as ordinary pocket change has become a miniature historical artifact that connects collectors to the past. Its beautiful design, historical significance, and potential collectible value continue to captivate people nearly a century after it was minted. Whether discovered in a coin jar, inherited in a family collection, or purchased by a dedicated collector, the 1939 wheat penny reminds us that hidden treasures can sometimes be found in the most unexpected places, even in a simple 1-cent coin that once quietly passed through countless hands. Next up in the 1940 Lincoln wheat penny begins with one of the most recognizable faces in American history, Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. Introduced as part of the famous Lincoln cent coin series, this small copper coin carries an incredible legacy that stretches far beyond its simple 1-cent face value. First released in 1909 to honor Lincoln's 100th birthday, the design continued into the 1940s, and the 1940 version quickly became a fascinating piece for collectors and historians alike. At first glance, it might look like just another old penny sitting in a jar or drawer, but the truth is that some examples of this historic coin have captured the attention of collectors worldwide. Its elegant portrait of Lincoln on the front and the iconic wheat stalks on the reverse symbolize both American pride and agricultural prosperity, making it one of the most beloved coins ever minted in the United States. When you take a closer look at the front of the 1940 Lincoln Wheat penny, you will notice the detailed right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by the talented sculptor Victor David Brenner. Around Lincoln's portrait are the words "In God We Trust" above his head, Liberty on the left side, and the year 1940 on the right side. This design marked a historic moment because it was the first regular U.S. coin to feature a real person instead of a symbolic figure like Lady Liberty. The artistry behind the coin is remarkable considering its tiny size, and even decades later the portrait still stands out with surprising clarity. Coins that remain in better condition today often show sharp details in Lincoln's hair, jawline, and coat, which makes collectors especially excited when they discover a well-preserved specimen from 1940. Turning the coin over reveals the famous reverse design that gives the Lincoln Wheat penny its nickname, the Wheat Penny. Two tall wheat stalks frame the sides of the coin, symbolizing prosperity and growth in America's agricultural economy during the early 20th century. Between the wheat stalks are the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America, along with the Latin motto, E pluribus unum. The simple yet powerful design remained in use from 1909 until 1958 before being replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959. Because of this long history, the wheat reverse has become one of the most recognizable designs in U.S. numismatic history, and the 1940 edition represents an important chapter during the pre-World War II era. The year 1940 was an interesting time in global history. While the United States had not yet officially entered World War II, the world was already experiencing massive political and economic changes. During this time, millions of pennies were minted to support everyday commerce across the country. The United States Mint produced the 1940 Lincoln Wheat penny in several mint locations, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins minted in Philadelphia carry no mint mark, while those produced in Denver show a small D, and San Francisco coins display an S. Each version has its own mintage numbers and rarity levels, which is why collectors carefully examine the mint mark when determining the coin's value. One of the most exciting aspects of the 1940 Lincoln Wheat penny is the possibility of hidden value. Although millions were produced, some coins survive today in exceptionally high condition, known as mint state. These pristine examples can sell for far more than 1 cent in the collector's market. Even more valuable are rare error varieties, such as doubled dies or unusual minting mistakes. These rare variations can attract intense attention at auctions because collectors are always searching for unique pieces that stand out from the ordinary coins found in circulation. Another reason collectors admire the Lincoln Wheat penny is its composition. The 1940 penny was made primarily of copper, with a small percentage of tin and zinc, giving it the rich reddish-brown tone that coin collectors love. Over decades, these coins often develop a natural patina, changing from bright red to a darker brown color. Interestingly, collectors categorize them into 3 main color groups: red, red-brown, and brown. A fully red 1940 penny that still maintains its original mint luster is especially desirable and can command significantly higher prices compared to darker circulated examples. Many people unknowingly own old coins, like the 1940 Lincoln Wheat penny, without realizing their potential value. These pennies often appear in coin jars, piggy banks, or inherited collections. Because they were once widely used in everyday transactions, it's not uncommon for people to discover one while sorting through loose change. This sense of hidden treasure is exactly what keeps coin collecting so exciting. A simple penny that once bought a small item decades ago might now hold historical importance and collector demand, turning an ordinary discovery into a fascinating piece of American heritage. Collectors also appreciate the storytelling power of coins like the Lincoln Wheat penny. Each coin represents a moment in time when it was struck, circulated, and eventually preserved. The 1940 edition in particular reflects the final years before America entered World War II, a period filled with anticipation and uncertainty. When you hold this coin in your hand, you are essentially touching a small piece of history that has traveled through countless pockets, cash registers, and generations of Americans. One fascinating aspect of the 1940 Lincoln Wheat penny is the enormous number of coins that were originally produced, yet the relatively small number that still exist in pristine condition today. The United States Mint struck hundreds of millions of these pennies in 1940, meaning they circulated heavily across the United States for everyday purchases like newspapers, candy, and public transportation fares. Because these coins were used constantly in daily transactions, most surviving examples today show significant wear and scratches. This heavy circulation makes it incredibly exciting for collectors when a well-preserved specimen appears. A sharp and clean 1940 penny with strong details can immediately attract the attention of experienced numismatists who recognize how difficult it is to find such coins after more than 8 decades of circulation and handling. Another detail that collectors closely examine on the 1940 Lincoln wheat penny is the small mint mark that may appear below the date. Coins produced in Philadelphia were issued without any mint mark, while those struck in Denver and San Francisco carry the tiny D and S respectively. These marks might appear insignificant, but they play a crucial role in determining the rarity and collector demand of each coin. The Denver and San Francisco versions often attract particular interest because collectors enjoy assembling complete sets from every mint location. The challenge of tracking down all 3 mint varieties in excellent condition adds another layer of excitement to the hobby, turning a simple penny hunt into a rewarding treasure search. Over the years, the Lincoln wheat penny has developed a legendary reputation among coin enthusiasts because certain rare examples have sold for surprisingly high prices. While most 1940 pennies are worth only a few cents to a few dollars depending on condition, exceptional pieces graded in near-perfect mint state can command significantly higher values in the collector market. Coins with flawless surfaces, strong red coloration, and sharp design details are particularly sought after. When such a coin appears in a professional auction, collectors from around the world often compete fiercely to add it to their collections, sometimes pushing the price far beyond what most people would ever expect from a simple 1-cent coin. The popularity of the 1940 Lincoln wheat penny is also deeply connected to the historical importance of Abraham Lincoln, whose portrait has remained on the penny for more than a century. Lincoln is remembered as one of the most influential leaders in American history, guiding the nation through the Civil War and preserving the Union. Because of his legacy, many people feel a strong emotional connection to coins bearing his image. This connection transforms the penny from a simple piece of currency into a small tribute to a president who changed the course of the nation. For collectors, owning a Lincoln wheat penny is not just about monetary value. It is about holding a piece of history that represents leadership, perseverance, and national identity. In the end, the 1940 Lincoln wheat penny proves that even the smallest objects can carry enormous historical and collectible significance. Featuring the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, a timeless wheat design, and a connection to a pivotal era in world history, this coin continues to captivate collectors and history lovers alike. Whether it is found in a coin collection or hidden in everyday change, the 1940 wheat penny remains a reminder that sometimes the most valuable treasures come in the smallest forms, waiting quietly to be discovered by someone who recognizes their true worth. Next up in the 1951 D. Lincoln wheat penny begins during an important era in American history, when the United States was emerging from the shadows of World War II and stepping into a new period of economic growth and global influence. This small copper coin, minted in 1951 at the famous Denver Mint, carries the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, whose leadership during the Civil War preserved the Union and ended slavery. Designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner, the Lincoln cent first appeared in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, and by 1951 it had already become one of the most recognizable coins in American history. Yet despite its simple appearance and 1-cent face value, collectors and coin enthusiasts know that certain examples of the 1951 D. wheat penny can carry surprising historical significance and even impressive value in the modern collector's market, making it far more than just ordinary pocket change. When you look closely at the front or obverse of the 1951 D. Lincoln wheat penny, you will immediately notice the dignified profile of Abraham Lincoln, facing right with calm confidence and determination. Above his head appears the inspiring national motto, "In God We Trust," while the word liberty sits proudly to the left side, symbolizing the core values upon which the United States was founded. On the right side of the portrait, the date 1951 is stamped along with the small but important D mint mark, indicating that this coin was produced at the historic Denver Mint. Every line and detail in Lincoln's portrait reflects the artistry of Victor David Brenner, whose design has endured for generations and remains one of the most admired coin designs ever created by the United States Mint. Turning the coin over reveals the famous reverse design that gives this coin its nickname, the wheat penny. Two elegant wheat stalks curve along the left and right edges of the coin, framing the words 1 cent and United States of America in the center, with the Latin motto, E pluribus unum, appearing at the top. This classic wheat design was used from 1909 until 1958, before being replaced by the Lincoln Memorial Reverse in 1959. Because of this limited time frame, all wheat pennies, including the 1951 D. Lincoln Wheat Penny, have become special collectibles for coin enthusiasts who appreciate their vintage design and historical significance. The wheat ears symbolize agricultural prosperity and the strength of the American economy, making the coin both a cultural and historical artifact of mid-20th century America. The year 1951 was an interesting time for coin production in the United States, and the Denver Mint played a major role in supplying circulating coinage for the growing American economy. Millions of pennies were struck that year to meet the demands of commerce, but not all of them survived in perfect condition. Over decades of circulation, many coins became worn, scratched, or lost, while others were saved by collectors who recognized their potential value. Because of this, high-quality examples of the 1951 D. Lincoln Wheat Penny, especially those in uncirculated mint condition with sharp details and original copper-red color, can command significantly higher prices among collectors today compared to ordinary circulated pieces. What makes this humble coin even more fascinating is the possibility of rare varieties and minting quirks that collectors constantly search for. In the world of coin collecting, even a tiny difference in the strike, alignment, or lettering can dramatically increase a coin's value. Some collectors carefully examine their 1951 D. Lincoln Wheat Penny under magnification to look for doubled dies, repunched mint marks, or unusual minting errors that might have slipped through quality control at the Denver Mint. These rare variations can transform an ordinary 1-cent coin into a highly desirable collectible worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on its rarity and condition. Another key factor that determines the value of the 1951 D. Lincoln Wheat Penny is its condition, which coin experts grade using a detailed scale that ranges from poor to mint state. Coins that spent decades circulating in pockets and cash registers usually show heavy wear, making them common and inexpensive. However, coins preserved in near-perfect condition with bright luster, crisp lettering, and flawless surfaces can be extremely attractive to collectors. Professional grading organizations, such as the Professional Coin Grading Service and the Numismatic Guarantee Company, evaluate these coins and assign official grades that help determine their market value and authenticity, giving collectors confidence when buying or selling rare specimens. The copper composition of this coin also tells an interesting story about American coinage during the mid-20th century. The 1951 D. Lincoln Wheat Penny was struck from a bronze alloy consisting mostly of copper with small amounts of tin and zinc, giving it its distinctive reddish-brown color when freshly minted. Over time, exposure to air, moisture, and handling causes the coin's surface to darken, creating the brown or chocolate tone often seen on older pennies. Some collectors actually prefer coins that retain their original red color because they appear closer to the way they looked when they first left the Denver Mint, and these pieces usually command higher prices in the collector's marketplace. Today, interest in the 1951 D. Lincoln Wheat Penny continues to grow as new generations of collectors discover the excitement of searching through old coins. What makes coin collecting so fascinating is that valuable treasures can sometimes hide in the most ordinary places, inside old jars, forgotten drawers, or inherited coin collections. Many people have unknowingly spent rare coins simply because they did not realize their potential worth, while others have been lucky enough to discover valuable pieces that changed their understanding of what a single penny could represent. This sense of mystery and possibility is exactly what keeps collectors searching through coins even today. The journey of the 1951 D. Lincoln Wheat Penny also highlights the broader story of post-war America, a time when the nation was rebuilding and redefining itself after the hardships of World War II. In 1951, the economy was booming, suburban life was expanding, and everyday Americans carried coins like this penny in their pockets for daily transactions. Despite its low face value, The penny reflected a tangible connection to American ideals and prosperity. Many households saved these coins in jars, envelopes, or piggy banks, unaware that decades later some of these pennies would be highly sought after by collectors. The coin serves as a reminder that even the simplest objects can act as cultural artifacts, offering insight into the daily lives and habits of people during a transformative era in United States history. Collectors today are particularly fascinated by the subtle variations in the 1951 D. Lincoln Wheat penny, such as slight differences in the alignment of the mint mark, small doubling on the date, or minute die cracks. These anomalies, often called errors, are highly prized because they are rare and tell a unique story about the coin's creation process. The Denver Mint, while producing millions of coins annually, could not achieve absolute perfection in every strike, leaving behind these fascinating quirks. For serious collectors, discovering a wheat penny with such an unusual feature can be thrilling, almost like uncovering a hidden treasure. Coins with these characteristics often sell for exponentially more than their standard counterparts, making the hunt for errors an exciting aspect of numismatics. Beyond its collectible value, the 1951 D. Lincoln Wheat penny holds educational significance, especially for those studying American history and art. The coin's obverse design immortalizes Abraham Lincoln, whose leadership and moral vision shaped the nation, while the reverse design communicates the agricultural roots of the country through the wheat ears. This combination of historical and symbolic imagery makes the coin a miniature storytelling device, allowing educators, historians, and enthusiasts to engage with America's past in a tangible way. Every scratch, patina, or color variation carries a lesson about its journey through time, reflecting the environments it has passed through and the hands that held it. In the end, the 1951 D. Lincoln Wheat penny is more than just a 1-cent coin. It is a small but powerful piece of history connecting modern collectors to America's past. From the artistic vision of Victor David Brenner to the enduring legacy of Abraham Lincoln, this coin represents the blend of art, history, and economics that makes numismatics such a fascinating hobby. Whether it is worth only a few cents or a much larger sum depending on its condition and rarity, every example of this coin carries a story that stretches back over 70 years, reminding us that even the smallest objects can hold remarkable historical and collectible value. Next up in the 1954 Abraham Lincoln Memorial 1-cent wheat penny stands as a fascinating piece of American numismatic history, bridging the gap between the enduring legacy of Abraham Lincoln and the mid-20th century era of coin production. Minted during a time of post-war prosperity and national optimism, this coin represents more than just currency. It embodies a slice of Americana, capturing both the artistry and the historical significance of the United States at that moment. The obverse of the coin features the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, whose likeness has graced the penny since 1909. Brenner's portrayal of Lincoln is one of dignity and gravitas, reflecting not only the revered status of the 16th president, but also the American ideals of liberty, perseverance, and unity. Collectors and enthusiasts often note the intricate detail in Lincoln's features, the sharp cheekbones, the furrowed brow, and the subtle lines of his jacket, all of which have endured remarkably well over decades of circulation, providing a tangible link to history that transcends mere metal and minting techniques. On the reverse side, the 1954 penny features the Lincoln Memorial, which had replaced the classic wheat ears design in 1959, but early mentions of wheat penny often still colloquially apply to the series for its continuity in honoring Lincoln. This architectural depiction is a marvel of precision engraving, capturing the essence of the iconic Washington, D.C. monument where the words, "In God We Trust," are prominently displayed above the memorial, with the denomination and country of origin engraved below. The level of craftsmanship in the Lincoln Memorial depiction is particularly noteworthy for coin enthusiasts, as the finely etched columns and statue detail, though minute, convey a sense of majesty and reverence. The reverse design serves as a silent tribute to Lincoln's enduring impact on the nation and emphasizes the symbolic connection between the president and the principles of freedom, justice, and equality that continue to define the United States. The 1954 Lincoln Memorial penny carries with it a fascinating production history that adds depth to its collectability. Minted at the Denver Mint, indicated by the small D beneath the date, this coin was part of a broader effort to satisfy the nation's post-war demand for currency. The United States Mint was operating at a scale that required precision and consistency, yet even minor variations in strike strength, planchet quality, or die condition could produce subtle differences that collectors today prize. Over time, these minute variations have become a source of intrigue, with numismatists seeking out examples with exceptionally sharp strikes or minimal surface blemishes, often referred to as gem condition coins. This attention to detail speaks to the enduring appeal of Lincoln pennies as a collecting hobby, demonstrating how even everyday objects like coins can become treasured artifacts when their history and context are fully appreciated. From a historical perspective, the 1954 penny emerged during a pivotal moment in American society. The early 1950s were defined by economic recovery, social change, and the tensions of the Cold War. In this era, a small coin like the Lincoln penny served as both a utilitarian tool and a symbol of national identity. For many households, the penny was a familiar companion, circulating in pockets, cash registers, and piggy banks, often becoming the first collectible coin for young numismatists. Its role extended beyond mere commerce. It was a tangible reminder of the nation's leadership and principles, a reminder that even the smallest coin could carry the weight of historical memory and cultural significance. Collectors today often reflect on this dual role of the penny, as both a functional currency and a commemorative object, recognizing that its value transcends monetary denomination and touches on heritage, nostalgia, and continuity. Numismatic enthusiasts often pay particular attention to the condition and rarity of individual 1954 pennies, recognizing that subtle differences can significantly affect market value. Coins that exhibit minimal wear, sharp die impressions, and a lustrous original finish are highly sought after in the collector community. Some rare variations, such as doubled dies, repunched mint marks, or minor striking errors, can elevate a seemingly ordinary coin into a remarkable collectible worth exponentially more than its face value. Beyond technical considerations, the coin also offers a window into mid-20th century minting practices, illustrating the craftsmanship, machinery, and quality control of the time. The study of these characteristics provides both hobbyists and professional numismatists with insight into the meticulous work involved in producing a coin that would survive decades of handling, circulation, and environmental exposure. The 1954 Lincoln penny is also a symbol of continuity in American numismatics, linking generations of collectors through shared appreciation of history and artistry. Many enthusiasts view this coin as part of a larger narrative that begins with the introduction of the Lincoln cent in 1909 and continues through subsequent decades, including the wheat pennies and the later Lincoln Memorial design. Collecting these coins offers a unique form of historical storytelling, allowing individuals to trace changes in design, metal composition, and minting techniques over time. Moreover, the Lincoln penny has become emblematic of a broader cultural resonance, appearing in educational settings, literature, and even popular media as a representation of American values, fiscal literacy, and historical awareness. Owning a 1954 penny, therefore, is not just about numismatic interest. It is about participating in a continuum of cultural memory that connects the present to the past. For those interested in investing in or preserving a 1954 penny, understanding its material composition is crucial. Like other Lincoln cents of the period, the coin is composed primarily of copper, with a small proportion of tin and zinc, giving it a distinctive reddish-brown hue that can develop a patina over time. This copper alloy contributes not only to the coin's durability, but also to its aesthetic appeal, as well-preserved specimens exhibit a warm, reflective surface that highlights the intricate details of Lincoln's profile and the memorial design. Proper storage techniques, including protective holders and controlled environments, are essential to maintaining the coin's condition, especially for collectors seeking to preserve its value for decades or even generations. Knowledge of these preservation strategies is part of the broader expertise required for serious numismatics, combining historical appreciation with practical care. The cultural and symbolic significance of the 1954 Lincoln penny extends beyond its numismatic value, serving as a daily reminder of Lincoln's leadership during one of the most tumultuous periods in American history. As a young nation confronted with the challenges of the Civil War, Lincoln's vision and principles became foundational to the country's identity, and the penny serves as a miniature monument to those ideals. For collectors, historians, and casual observers alike, Holding or observing a 1954 penny offers a tangible connection to these ideals, evoking reflections on perseverance, civic responsibility, and the enduring pursuit of justice. It is this emotional resonance, combined with historical context, that gives the coin a timeless appeal, making it far more than a mere token of monetary exchange. Finally, the 1954 Abraham Lincoln Memorial 1-cent penny represents the intersection of history, artistry, and culture in a form that is accessible to everyone. From the careful engraving of Lincoln's likeness to the precision of the minting process, each coin carries a story that spans decades and generations. Whether appreciated by collectors for its rarity, by historians for its context, or by casual observers for its beauty, the 1954 penny is a symbol of the enduring legacy of Abraham Lincoln and the rich tapestry of American heritage. Its presence in collections, museums, and everyday circulation ensures that Lincoln's story, and the values he championed, continue to inspire and connect people, making this humble penny a remarkable artifact of both historical and cultural significance. One of the most fascinating aspects of the 1954 Lincoln penny is the story behind its mint mark, and how it reflects the broader operations of the United States Mint during the 1950s. The Denver Mint, responsible for producing this coin, was a hub of industrial precision, balancing mass production with the meticulous standards required for quality coinage. The small D mint mark beneath the date might seem insignificant at first glance, but it carries layers of meaning for collectors, as it distinguishes Denver strikes from those produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which did not carry a mint mark at the time. Subtle variations between these mints, ranging from die-wear to planchet thickness, have led to detailed studies and cataloging by numismatists, making each coin a unique representation of the minting process and a point of interest for collectors seeking to understand the intricacies of mid-20th century coin production.